Verbling. My name's Michaela. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and today we're talking about reggae music. And if you guys have any questions or comments on this class, or you want to request a class topic, you can message me here on my Verbling inbox or on my Facebook, and I'll put my Facebook in the chat box for you. Vinicius, welcome to class.
Hi.
How are you doing today, Vinicius?
I'm doing good.
Excellent. So, what's your favorite kind of music?
Rock.
Rock.
Yes.
Awesome. And do you ever listen to rock in English?
Yes, I always listen rock in English, but I don't understand it well.
Yeah, it can be pretty tough to understand some of the lyrics because it's very fast and there are lots of other factors, but it can be difficult. What kind of English music do you like?
Rock, more rock.
Like what kind? AC/DC, Led Zeppelin?
Yes, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. And Carolina, what's your favorite kind of music?
I like various types of music. I like Brazilian music and MPB. I like samba. I like R&B so much.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another class on Verbling.com with teacher Abby. It's so exciting to be able to have another class with you guys.
Sorry. It looks like Vinicius, we're getting some feedback from your audio. Probably you have another class playing in the background. So you're welcome to do that. Just put yourself on mute if you have background noise or anytime you're not talking. Thanks, Vinicius. Sorry, Carolina, go ahead.
No, I was talking that I like very types of music. I like Brazilian music and R&B mostly.
Very cool. And do you ever listen to R&B in English?
Yes.
Like what, for example?
I like Marvin Gaye.
Ooh, nice. Good choice.
Beyonce.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you very much, Carolina.
Welcome.
And Luo.
Yes, I'm here.
Welcome to class. Tell us, what is your favorite music?
My favorite music is trance. Trance music is electronic music. Yeah.
Very cool. So that usually doesn't have words, no lyrics to that kind of music, right?
Yes, make me thinking of something.
Huh? Thinking of something?
Yes, make me just
okay. Think
trance.
of like an example.
Example? Okay. Example like why I'm here. Why this word like this? Something like that.
Ah, philosophical music. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of different types of music can be awesome for studying English because it changes up the pace a little bit. It can be more interesting and more fun than reading a book in English or learning grammar. So it's a helpful tool and aid in learning English. Paco, welcome to class.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, Paco. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I'm doing well as well.
Great. So tell us, Paco, what is your favorite music and why?
My favorite music? I like it, a lot of types of music, from classical music to the more latest chill out, almost
Cool.
any kind of music. I like.
Do you ever listen to music in English?
Yes, of course.
Like what?
Please.
Like what? Paco, are you there?
Yes.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your example. What did you say was the music you listen to in English?
In English, I try to listen. I try to translate and to listen to all the music I hear. Most of them
Awesome.
are in English.
Great strategy.
The last one, for example, was Guilty from Barbara Streisand and Barry Gibb. Guilty is the last one. I have tried to translate, and I like it very much.
Very cool. Thank you very much, Paco. And Pablo, welcome to class.
Hi, teacher.
Hey, Pablo. Glad to have you with us. Tell us about your favorite music.
Well, I think it's pop music or classical rock.
Ooh, both good categories. So, do you ever listen to those in English? And what's been your experience?
Yes, I in some occasions I'll try to uh, put in YouTube uh, songs with lyrics
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
try to understand.
excellent way to study. Good suggestion.
Yes.
Thanks, Pablo. And last but not least, Aka, welcome to class.
Thank you very much.
And what's your favorite kind of music, Aka?
My favorite music is classic rock, and nowadays I often listen to the ambient music too.
Awesome. Do you ever listen to music in English?
Yeah, sometimes English, sometimes other language. Like I like bossa nova too. You know, it's a Portuguese.
Oh yeah. Awesome.
I know the Iceland band called Sigur Rós. They're singing. How can I say?
I love that band.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, they're beautiful. They're really beautiful. Yeah.
Kind of relaxing.
Yeah, they are singing in not English, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they sing in Icelandic or something, but I don't think they sing in English as far as I know.
I see.
But they're a great band.
Yes.
All right. So I have a few songs for you guys today, and we are focusing on reggae music. So before we start listening to songs, I want to hear from you guys what you think are the benefits and the drawbacks of listening to reggae music to help you learn English. So there's some benefits and there's some problems. Like anything, there's advantages and disadvantages. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of listening to reggae to help you learn English? Vinicius, can you give us one or two things you think? An advantage or a disadvantage? You're muted, Vinicius.
Okay, can you repeat?
Yeah, so what are the advantages or disadvantages of listening to reggae music to study English?
I don't know.
Okay. How about Paco? Do you have any ideas what the advantages or disadvantages would be to reggae music specifically?
Not really. Always is a challenge to listen to lyrics in English, but not. I don't think of any advantage or disadvantage of any difference from reggae music to other kinds of music.
All right. Pablo, can you think of anything?
Any advantage?
Advantage or disadvantage to listening to reggae music to learn
Well,
English?
uh, I I could learn new slangs and
Mhm.
idioms and another kind of pronunciation
Mhm.
they use. Is very interesting.
Yes. So you hit a huge point here for reggae music because reggae music usually includes a lot of slang or dialect. The Jamaican dialect is significantly different than what would be standard American dialect or British English. So there's a lot of differences in the English you hear in reggae music and the English you hear in, say, normal everyday speech. So that can be good and it can be bad. It's good because it helps you keep current and learn new slang, but it could also be bad because if you learn slang and you don't know that it's slang, you might misuse a phrase. So it could be good and it could be bad. And same with the accent that you mentioned. Learning how to understand a new accent is great for your ear. It really is helpful. But it also will be difficult because the accent might sound unfamiliar and difficult to understand. So those are some good and bad parts. Luo, can you add anything else?
Oh yes, I think the reggae music, I would say, when I was young, I've heard a lot of the reggae music from the Bob Marley, and I didn't even know the meanings from the lyric, you know. But this is a motivation for me now to try to understand the lyrics. For example, no woman, no cry. Well, I think now I can know more than lyric. That's what I
Yeah,
want to say.
yeah. It takes a lot of listening and thinking to understand the lyrics sometimes, but it
Mhm.
helps you with those skills, developing the skills of listening and also kind of interpreting something that's not exactly logical always. So, no woman, no cry is not really like a full sentence, but if you
Mhm.
think about it long enough, you might understand something about it.
Yeah, it's a
Exactly.
big motivation for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Carolina, can you think of any other advantages or disadvantages to listening to reggae music in English?
I agree with you. I like reggae. It's a pleasure, but I don't know if it's advantage, but difficult could be the accents. But I think it could be charming too. It could be a
Mm-hmm.
challenge to hear,
Definitely.
understand.
Definitely. Totally.
Mhm.
Excellent point, Carolina. And Aka, do you have any other tips or advantages or disadvantages for reggae music?
Advantage is using reggae music for English learning. Reggae music is not so fast, so we can sing, easily in kind of very relaxing tempo.
Yeah.
And disadvantage, yeah, no man no cry, the pigeon like English, and or money pronounce love as love. So irregular grammar, irregular kind of pronunciation. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
could
Awesome.
be disadvantage. But to know the kind of variety of English is very helpful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Totally. So that's another big point is that reggae music is usually relaxed, it's slow. So it's a little easier sometimes to hear the words they're saying because it's not as fast as rock music or pop music sometimes. And another important part about reggae music is it's usually political. It has a message. right? So the lyrics are very important to the song. So the lyrics are a loud part of the song because they're trying to give you some political message, and for some people that's not really good. Some people are like, I want to listen to music, I don't want to talk about politics right now. But because they have this message, their lyrics usually are pretty front and center, where some music you have a lot of instrumental that covers up the words. But usually in reggae music, the words are important, really important to the music. Okay, so after all of this talking, we're going to listen to a song. We're going to listen first, talk a little bit about what you heard, and then listen a second time while we're reading the lyrics. So if you guys turn on your YouTube app on the left of your screen, you will be able to watch it with us, and this app automatically mutes everyone. So if you need to give me a message while we're listening to this, just let me know in the chat box. Do you guys have any questions before we listen to our first song? All right, then let's do it.
Hmm?
Sorry. Vinicius, did you get to hear some of the song we just listened to?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was unclear about the YouTube app.
No, but now I found.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to recommend. I have a link for this particular video, and I'll put it in the chat boxes. So if you guys did not get to hear any of it while we were listening together, go to that link, and you can listen right now as we're talking. And I'll get to you in a bit. It's about 3 minutes, about 4 minutes, I guess. So it shouldn't take that long to listen to. And in the meantime, Aka, did you get to listen to the song?
Yes. Peter Tosh is singing. So Bob Marley was not singing. So yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's a rare video, I guess. Usually Bob Marley sings, but yeah, Peter Tosh is also a star singer or a star reggae star.
So, what did you hear in this song? Have you heard this song before?
No, actually, but I think they are talking about school. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely mentioned school. Awesome. Carolina, did you get to hear this song?
Yes, listen.
Excellent. And what did you hear? What words did you hear?
It's about blame, school, life. To be honest, I listen more to the rhythm when I try to understand English. Generally, I listen twice.
Yeah.
I just listen the rhythm with no much obligation to understand the words. At the second, I try to understand the words. So now I just let it flow.
Yeah, that's a great way to listen too. When you have a little bit of time, you can play a song 2 or 3 times to help yourself just get accustomed and not like a stressful listening test, but just kind of ease yourself into figuring out some of the words with your ear. But it sounds like you heard a pretty good amount, even though this was just our first time. Thanks, Carolina.
Welcome.
And let's see. Paco, did you get to listen to the song?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Okay, and what did you think? What did you hear?
Well, I hear something, well, the title, You Can Blame the Youth, and something about the teacher in the school that talk about Marco Polo, Christopher Columbus, and any other I couldn't hear very well.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of what they were saying, and a good bit to understand for just our first time listening. Thank you very much, Paco.
Welcome. Thank you.
Pablo, how about you? Did you get to understand or listen to the song?
You can blame to you. Yes.
Awesome.
But the only thing.
Yeah, that's one more thing that's kind of nice about reggae music is it's usually very repetitive. So some people might not really like that, but if you hear one line like 10 or 12 times, then it really gets stuck in your head and you'll really remember it. And in this song, You Can Blame the Youth, or You Can't Blame the Youth, is really prominent. They repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. So that line is something that's an easy part in the song to understand. Awesome. And Luo, did I already ask you? Did you understand it?
Oh, actually, I didn't get anything from the video. I think because I focused on the melody and the rhythm, so I know.
Mm.
I'm a music fancier. You know, each time when I listen into the music, I will focus on the melody and rhythm. You know.
Yeah, totally. Like,
Mhm.
it sounds like you're saying what Carolina said, which is the first few times you listen to a song, what usually sticks out the most is the melody, the instruments, and the tune in itself. And usually you have to listen a few more times to get deeper into the lyrics. Totally
Yes.
understandable.
Yes.
All right, Vinicius, how about you? Did you get a chance to listen to some of it?
Yes.
And what did you think?
I understood a little. Um, Blame Christopher Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
Been kidnapping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. All right. So I'm going to put the lyrics in the chat box for you, and we're going to listen one more time. And this time, try to follow along as we are listening. And does everyone see the YouTube app now on the left? So everyone has that YouTube app opened? If you don't want to open the YouTube app, you can also just use the link that I sent. So you can mute yourself. Don't forget to mute yourself and play it on YouTube on your own computer if you prefer that. All right. So we're going to pause again, listen to the song, and this time read the lyrics and then talk a little bit about them.
Meant you can for
All right. So, did everyone get to listen to it once through? I'm hoping yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
So now we're going to talk a little bit about. Ooh. Sorry. So now we're going to talk about the lyrics and what meaning you can get from the words that we got to read this time. Now we've listened to it 2 times and read through the lyrics, hopefully. So what meaning can you pull? Like I said, there's a lot of political messages. So I want to know what you guys have been thinking about these words. Vinicius, what did you understand from this song?
That we can blame the children because at home they have bad things like win again, like as a toy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. All right. Paco, can you add something? What else did you understand, or what's the message they're trying to send us with these lyrics?
Well, gets my attention that when they say in the school we learn that Marco Polo, Columbus, and all these conquers,
Mm-hmm.
all these
Conquerors.
conquers were great men. But the message I understand is that in fact they were robbing, kidnapping, killing the people they conquered.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So we learn some mistaken messages in the school.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And as well what Vinicius said, that we usually give toys gun
Mm-hmm.
to the kids for Christmas, they say.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks, Paco. Pablo, can you add anything else? What did you understand, or what is the message you received from these lyrics?
Well, they try to send a message for the teachers, especially that to review the history about these great men that all, all of us were know about the school.
Mm-hmm.
What they really do what they really do with their life, and stop to say a lot of how's a lot of lies to the childrens.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Pablo. And Luo, can you add anything so far about what you heard or what you think the message is they're trying to send?
Well, after I've seen the lyrics, I thought those lines are so simple, but I couldn't understand before I can and you know seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the whole thing is also don't want the youngster, don't want the teenager, don't want children being blamed with adults with some unreasonable reasons like I taught you um, I taught you something, but you should do as is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm.
Totally. Thanks, Luo. Carolina, what else did you hear, and what message do you think they're trying to send?
I think the music is about the lesson the adults give to the children, how these bad lessons can make the children get worse in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And there
Definitely.
is an advice and alert to the educators about this situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a warning. Totally.
Warning.
Aka, is there anything else you can add? Anything you liked, didn't like, or thought was interesting about this song or any of the lines in it?
Yeah, after I read the lyrics, it's simple in English, but I couldn't listen to the exact new. Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of simple, but a strong message, you know. Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
how can I say, history can be read in a very different, in a very different standpoint, you know. For them,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for Bob Marley's ancestors or Peter Tosh's ancestors, you know, because of the Marco Polo or the Columbus, they have to be captured and you know working as a slavery or killing and yeah such kind of contradiction of the world. And another point is Christmas time parents give kids a toy gun, so violence in the world. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe such kind of contradiction. This song describes such contrast and contradiction of this world.
Totally. All right. So before we move on, there are a couple other things I want to talk about with this song. The first one is in the second stanza. And by the way, stanza? Does anyone know what stanza means?
No.
I'll put it in the chat box for you so you guys know how to spell it. A stanza is like a paragraph of lyrics.
Okay.
Or it could also be a vocabulary word for poetry. Sometimes poetry is broken into sections, like 4 lines, 4 lines, 4 lines, and one would be called a stanza. So in the second paragraph of lyrics, or the second stanza, they say, you're teaching youths to learn in school that cow jump over moon, teaching youths to learn in school that the dish ran away with the spoon. Does anybody recognize those words? The cow jumping over the moon and dish running away with the spoon?
It's a expression.
Not exactly.
Means literally.
Hopefully not literally.
Okay.
It's a child's rhyme, basically. There's a very, very ubiquitous, like very common rhyme that children learn when they're young. And it doesn't make any sense. It's totally nonsensical. It's talking about the cow jumped over the moon, the dish ran away with the spoon, and it goes on to talk about things that just don't make any sense. So I think they put that in there to show that we learn a lot of things that don't make sense, and we learn a lot of things that are not really true, unfortunately. But I wanted to just point that out because without that cultural reference, it's really difficult to understand that paragraph. All right. So this is a pretty difficult song to understand unless you have the lyrics in front of you. And we talked about a few reasons why. The accent and the Jamaican dialect in general is difficult. So, and plus they use a lot of slang. one of the things I think is most difficult about this song is when they say you can't blame the youth. They don't really pronounce the T in can't. So it ends up sounding like can. You can blame the youth. And that's the opposite of what they're trying to say. Did anyone else hear can, even though it's written can't? Does anyone agree with me here? That it sounds like can, even though it's not? How about anyone? Anyone want to jump in here before I call on someone?
Kind of pigeon type English, I guess, because slaves have to access to the education, and their native language is different from English, so they create pigeon type English. So
Yeah,
maybe
totally.
this pronunciation is because of that.
Mm-hmm. And even in American English, sometimes that T starts to fade away. But there's one way that you can really kind of tell the difference between the word can and can't. Because if you guys listen even to the way that I say can and can't, I don't really pronounce the T all the way. I don't say can't. But if I say something like, I can't go to the store. If I said it fast, it might sound more like, I can't go to this store. I can't go to the store. And that T is not really fully pronounced. It's just like a stop. I stop the sound in my throat. But if I were going to say the opposite, if I were going to say, I can go to the store, when I say it fast, it sounds like, I can go to the store. I can go to the store. So the way you can tell the difference is can usually gets shortened to can, and can't never does. So can sometimes is negative. I can't go to the store versus I can go to the store. Does that make sense?
Yes, I never heard the final T. Never.
Yes. Yeah, it's really difficult to hear. Even for native speakers, that T is not pronounced. It's not emphasized. So it's tough, really tough. And
Yes.
the way that I tell the difference is because can gets shortened and
Yes.
can't doesn't.
It's longer, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Arthur, welcome to class. Arthur, are you there? I can't hear you, Arthur, so let me know in the chat box if you're having trouble with your audio or you need any help. And before we move on to the next song, I want to know if you guys can spot some little slangs or differences between the lyrics in this song and what would be considered like proper grammar in American English. So let's start with Paco. Can you point to anything on these lyrics that is different than we might see in, like, say, a textbook or an academic article of some kind?
About the lyrics?
Yeah, something that's like, it's kind of artistic, not really the way people actually speak.
Mm-hmm. No, I can't remember now.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough. Can anyone else think of something?
Slangs?
Slang, yeah, or something shortened. Instead of writing out the full word, sometimes they shorten words.
What paid my attention was the words with I and N in the end, not using the G, like kidnapping, killing.
Yeah. Totally. In this song, that is really rampant. It's really common. They have probably like almost 10 verbs that they cut the G off of it. So instead of killing, they say killin', or doing becomes doin'. And they do that a lot in this song. And I think that's one of the only really slang things they have. This song is pretty, for a reggae song, it's pretty like correct to the letter. But Anything else? Any other comments or questions on this song before we move on to another one? All right. So this time we're going to do this in the opposite order. I'm going to give you guys the lyrics first, and we're going to look over them. This song is quite a bit more full of slang and Jamaican dialect. So there are some words that are spelled and pronounced totally different than you're used to seeing them. And there's a lot of changes in the grammar. And to be totally honest, there's some stuff that I'm not even totally sure I understand. Because in some songs, it's so different than what I'm used to. It's like, I think I get it, but I'm not totally sure because it's unusual for me. So look over these lyrics. The first two lines, we no know how we and them a go work this out. Oi. And then it repeats itself. So this line is really different. Can anyone point out what is different about the way this is written versus how I might write it if I were going to write a song?
We don't know.
Yeah, we're missing the auxiliary verb.
Yeah, maybe no. Instead of don't, they use no.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's definitely unusual. They took out the auxiliary verb plus not, and then they just put in no. So we know no, which also sounds funny because we have two words spelled totally differently but pronounced exactly the same right next to each other. We know how we and them a go work this out. So what about dem? Has anyone ever seen that word before?
Yeah,
Them.
no.
With T. T.
It's
Yeah,
TH.
usually it's with a TH, right?
Yes.
So that's particularly different as well. And then this next part, a go work this out, that's short for something. Does anyone have an idea what that's short for?
Them. Argor? Or?
Yes,
Oh.
Are going to work?
exactly. Exactly. So they took this long phrase, and what it would be if I wrote it is, we don't know how we and them are going to work this out. Like, work this out as in solve the problem. And that's a pretty big difference. So they shortened things, they changed the spelling a little, and they took out the auxiliary verb. They changed a lot. The grammar, the spelling, total vocabulary change there. So sometimes it can be difficult, but the rest of this song is actually, it's pretty repetitive, but a lot of it is good. It's got a lot of interesting words and a message, and it's pretty easy to understand. So now that you guys are looking at the lyrics, we're going to listen to this one and then talk about whether this one is easier or more difficult than the last one. So does anyone have a question before I play it? Does anyone need the link? I'll put the link in the chat box just in case.
No, it works.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you, hopefully everyone is using that YouTube app and that should work for us. Okay, I'm going to play it now. All right. So it pretty much is the same from there on out, just a little more repeating. And we're running out of time a little bit, but if you look at the second paragraph or the second stanza of the lyrics for this song, let's talk a little bit about how you guys might change that if you were translating this Jamaican style paragraph into a more typical American written paragraph. Paco, what is one of the changes you might make if you were changing or translating this paragraph from Jamaican to American English? Sorry, Paco, are you there?
Oh, sorry, it was the mic. The H in half is missing.
Yep, definitely.
And in chat, I don't know what it means.
Interesting. Now, this is the other thing that's kind of cool about reggae music, is that the lyrics are important, and they're usually actually very academic lyrics. So a lot of these words are great vocabulary words. Does anybody here know what the word shed means? Aka, any ideas what the word shed means?
I don't know.
Spread, probably.
Kind of like spread. So shed
I think it must be something like loose or
yes.
spill or
Yes.
pour.
Exactly.
More.
So shed, right now they're talking about shedding blood, but you could also say something like shed my jacket, as in take off my jacket, or shed tears, like you're losing tears are falling out. So it's a pretty academic word, but we could use it for tears, blood, jacket, anything that's coming off or getting out.
Also, when you put more water, for example, in a glass, than the glass is more than the glass can have, then the water sheds. Oh?
Yeah. So not usually like evaporation, but when you have a
sheds down the side of the glass.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be a good example of shedding. Awesome. Thank you very much, Paco. And Luo, there's one more correction we could make to this paragraph or stanza. Do you see it?
Yes, I guess it should be, but someone will have to pay, and it should be but someone will have to pay.
Is there anything else you see?
Anything else? Was innocent blood? Yeah, they check every day. My word. It's what the Bible say. I didn't say any. I don't see anything wrong.
Does anybody else see one more difference between this and what would be standard American English?
Mark my word?
Nope, that's pretty standard American English. What does mark my word mean? Does anyone know? Mark my word would be like insisting that you're going to be right. Like, remember what I'm saying, because in 10 years you'll see that I'm right. So remember what I'm saying. Mark my word. It's a very simple problem, or in American English it would be a problem. It's in the last line. It's what the Bible say.
Yes, because it's in plural.
Exactly. So say is not used for the singular third person, and Bible is singular third person. So usually it would be says, what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. we are totally out of time for today, but this was an awesome class, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you for coming and sharing this with me. You guys
Thank
have any
you.
questions or comments before we leave?
Yeah, Bob Marley used both expression we know and we don't know and them, and sometimes he pronounced them. Maybe
Yeah.
for the other non-Jamaican audience, maybe.
Yeah,
So
it's totally crazy. They kind of go back and forth. And what I also think is really funny is that a lot of this reggae music, they sound like they're from Jamaica, but they aren't always. So you might find like a British band, they sound like they're from Jamaica, but they're totally not. They're from England.
Yeah.
So it's like they sometimes create this accent around reggae music that isn't natural to the person. Kind of funny.
We don't have enough with the correct English.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We
And
need more and more.
I put one more song for you guys in the chat box that we didn't get to today. So if you're interested, there is another song and the lyrics in the chat box. All right, guys, thank you so much. And I got to run because I have another class coming up right now.
Good job, Michaela. Good job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
See you. Bye.